There she is. Best kitchen helper ever. That must mean we're cooking in the kitchen. Oh, second best kitchen helper is here as well. Let's get cooking. As you can already tell by the title of this video, we're making soup. I know it's May, but on the day I'm filming this, it's 49 degrees outside in northern Michigan. So soup it is. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make lasagna soup. And heck, if you want lasagna in the summertime and you don't want to turn your oven on, do this. We're going to make it in the Instant Pot. So as always, I have my trusty Instant Pot here. Now this can be made on a stove. You're just going to want to do everything I'm telling you to do, but boil the noodles separately and add them in. That would be the only difference. So if you don't have one of these, you can still make it. And as per tradition, let's go over everything we're going to need. You're going to need about a pound to a pound and a half of ground beef. You could also use ground turkey. You could use a combination of ground beef and Italian sausage. I just am using regular ground beef. You are going to need a small diced onion. I already had a diced onion, so I'm using that. You are going to need some Jarlic, or 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. Whatever your heart desires. Next thing you will need is 4 cups of beef broth. Today I'm actually just going with the box stuff instead of making my own. Next, you are going to need the sauce of your choice. I'm going to be using, is it Rao's or Rao's? How do you guys say this? I'm using their tomato basil. You could use marinara, you could use a vodka sauce, you can use homemade sauce, whatever you'd like. I'm going easy today and using that. Because I'm using tomato basil, I will not be adding basil. We'll get to that in a minute. You're going to need a can of petite diced tomatoes. You're going to need some dried parsley. You're going to need some oregano. And you're going to need some basil. But again, since there's basil in that, I am not using that. But if you're not using that, then you're going to want that. You are going to need lasagna noodles. These looked really pretty. Seriously, that's the only reason I bought them, is because they looked really pretty. I thought they would make this soup look good. Lasagna noodles of choice, and you can use oven ready or regular. Both should work in this. We're going to need a little bit of balsamic vinegar. This stuff is really good on salads. We're going to need some ricotta cheese. Now, if you want to save yourself some money, you can also substitute cottage cheese for this. It's going to give you about the same flavor and texture. We need some grated Parmesan cheese. You can totally grate your own or buy it already grated. We are going to need some mozzarella cheese, grated or shredded, which I got this so I can do either of those things. First best kitchen helper is assumed her position. I thought you were napping. I didn't think you were going to move. So she's in here. We got to go check on third because we already saw second, but I think second came back in here. Oh, did you steal the blanket? Don't worry, I don't have anything yet. And then third best kitchen helper is watching it rain. Yeah. I don't even have anything on yet. You could totally come join us. No? Okay. Well, if you would like to, we're in here. All right. First thing is first. Turn your Instapot to Sauté. It doesn't have to have a minute on there, but we're going to throw our ground beef in here. It's in the pot. I know everybody's going to be like, it's not red. It was in the freezer. It's perfectly fine. So many people think your meat has to be red for it to be perfect. We're going to season it with a little bit of pepper. And then you guys know I don't like to add a ton of salt to things, so I'm not even going to add salt to this right now. I am going to add just a little bit of garlic powder. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then before I drop the onions in here, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this is all kind of chopped up to make it easier to work with. Ooh, you can see that it's already getting ready. Getting warm already. Now, depending on how done you want your onions, you can either add them right at the beginning, or you can add them a little bit into it, and then just, however many you want. That's probably good. Something else you could add right now, if you wanted to, you could add some green peppers. I don't normally put green peppers in my lasagna, but some people do. This would be a good time to add it. Another thing would be a little bit of celery. But again, if you make your own sauce, or depending on the type of sauce you use, you might not want to do that, but just a suggestion. Toss some in, maybe a little more. Now, if you kind of look underneath the meat, oh, mine's not too bad. You want to deglaze the bottom of this so that you don't get the burn error on your Instapot. So the way we're going to do that, we're going to take a little bit of our beef broth, pour it right in there. Not all of it yet. Pour it in there and kind of stir it around and rub the bottom of this pan. We're basically, it's called deglazing. We're just getting anything that might be stuck or burnt to the bottom of this off so that we don't get the burn error on our Instapot. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add all of the rest of this because we need 4 cups total. So, you know, the entire container. We are making soup. Okay, so the sauce that I bought is 24 ounces. I only need 2 cups, but I'm also adding this. So I've already measured out my 2 cups. There's a couple different ways you can do this. If you want to use this whole jar, don't add that. That's literally all you have to do. So you can use this whole jar, or do the 2 cups, then add the can of petite diced tomatoes, and then take what's left in here, and you can use it to dip your garlic bread in, or put it in your fridge and dip your raviolis in it. I don't know, but that's what we're gonna add this next. So 2 cups of your favorite sauce. Oh, let me get that out of the way. There we go. And try not to spill it. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Next, the entire can, juice and all, of petite diced tomatoes. You could use any type of diced tomatoes if you want, but that's what I'm using. Well, hello, Miss Ma'am. So far, I have nothing for you to try. I will definitely have to get something so that you guys can have something. So as for the diced tomatoes, you can use bigger ones if you want. You can use the basil and oregano flavored ones if you want. If you want more flavor, you know, play around with it. You might find a combination that you really, really enjoy. But for me, I added the no salt ones because I don't like to add a ton of extra salt to my food. Next, you're going to add about a teaspoon of dried parsley. This is not the fresh stuff that I was going to use at the end, and I'm not measuring. You know, put some in there till it makes you happy, and that's pretty good. Next, you're going to want about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of oregano. Again, whatever you would like. And depending on the sauce that you're using, you might not even be adding any of this stuff. How much? I don't know. Till it makes me happy. Next, you're probably wondering how these are going to fit in here. We're going to take about 8 to 9, maybe 10 of these, depending. But start with 8 when you do this for the first time. And we're going to break them into bite-sized pieces. So I'm going to break them up, put them in this bowl. Look, this one already came broken. So just break them. About like that. Throw them in there. And then we're going to put them in the soup. You can make them a little smaller if you want to, depending on how small you want your noodles to be. Pretty much like that. And keep doing that. Noodles are broken. They're going in. Now, you want to take whatever you were using to stir this and push them down just below the liquid. Don't push them way down in there. Don't stir them. Just make sure they are covered. Just like that. Lids on. Remember to close your vent. And now we are going to do this on pressure cook. Holy cow, we're like way up here in the time. For 6 minutes. So I gotta get this to go all the way down to 6. 6 minutes. And it'll start on its own. Now, if you don't know, if you've never used one of these before, it says 6 minutes. It's gonna take it like 15, 20, 25 minutes before it actually gets up to pressure. Then it takes 6 minutes after that. So we're just gonna let it sit here and do its thing. You're probably wondering about all this stuff. We're not adding this stuff yet. If we add it now, all of this cheese and stuff is just gonna disintegrate and burn. So while that's getting ready, I'm gonna go ahead and shred this, put the rest of this in the fridge until that's all done. Side note, if you buy the 8-ounce block of mozzarella, it actually makes about 2 cups. We only need a cup of this, but I shredded that with my handy dandy salad shooter. Yeah, it's totally probably from the 90s, but look! The cheese tax, the cheese tax. We gotta pay the cheese tax, right? Say thanks, Puppy Songs, for writing the cheese tax song. You ready? Memphis first. Is that worth it? Was it worth the wait? Hold on. Eleanor's like, I'm sitting. Look at me. I'm beautiful. Okay, cheese tax. Whoa, cheese tax. Whoa. I wish I would have been filming. You came in here all on your own. She's like, yeah, Mom, cheese tax. Cheese tax. Are you going to hang out in here with us? No? Okay, see you later. Bye. It's doing its thing. So, yeah, it took about 15 minutes for it to come up to temperature. Now it's going to count down. And then as soon as this hits 0, we're going to go ahead and release it. We're not going to let it sit. Sometimes you can do like a natural release. We're going to go ahead and release it because we don't want those noodles to overcook. All right, while I am waiting for that to do the 6 minutes, I have measured out a half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan, 1 cup of ricotta cheese, and 1 cup of my mozzarella. Now, you can also top your bowls of soup with a little bit of this. a little bit of this, a little bit of this after. So if you have extra, it's perfectly fine. Or throw it in the fridge and use it for something else. All right, here we go. It's gonna be angry. There it goes. I need a dragon for the top of that. I love how neither of you care about the big hissing Instant Pot. Kira, on the other hand, Kira says, forget it. I'm not coming in there. I bet it's gonna steam up the camera. Ooh, okay. The noodles look done. I can see them in there. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're gonna give it a little stir. Oh, this looks okay, this looks really good. Oh, I'm excited now. Okay, let's add the rest of the stuff. This is optional. You don't have to add this. As for how much, like a teaspoon. So you go, splash. That works. Add the Parmesan. And yes, we're gonna stir that in. Add this. Oh, I don't think I can do that one-handed. The ricotta added. Okay, and now we're gonna stir all this stuff together. Oh my God, this is gonna be so good. I hear you over there. I do. You can't have lasagna soup, sorry. And then more cheese. Stir that in. Oh my goodness. That looks pretty perfect to me. And this smells amazing. It smells like lasagna. It smells amazing. It's time to eat. Oh my goodness, you added a little cheese on top.
I did.
So you'll have to tell me if I should break the noodles up a little smaller next time. I left them big because I wanted them to be good for the thumbnails. I didn't know if they should be a little smaller.
If they're too small,
Then they kind of fall
yeah,
apart.
they just disintegrate faster. So I mean, this kind of gives you that lasagna feel.
Does it taste like deconstructed lasagna?
It's oddly exactly like that. Yeah.
I know.
I mean, it makes sense.
And you like lasagna, and honestly, this was so easy. Like, so easy. So
Yeah, it tastes just like the lasagna. It's good.
that's a win?
That's pretty good.
That's a win. Well, that was not only delicious, but ridiculously easy. Much easier than layering lasagna layer by layer by layer. Now, I also have an Instapot lasagna recipe that I really, really like, which I can link down below and in the cards if you guys would like to try that. This was pretty good, though. I really like this. Super, super easy. All right, you guys. We hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay positive, dream big, and we will see you again soon. Goodbye, audience.